Joyce Erb, Paper Finesse, guest designer for Cut at Home. Today we'll be looking at tips for people with weak or challenged hands, and we'll also explore some Spellbinders new dies today. This particular one is from the designer series Renaissance Jubilee by Stacy Karen Designs. It's the Labels 56 decorative element dies, and it coordinates with the Labels 56 Nestabilities dies. And the larger shape has some nice little embossed lines on it. And so for the bigger shape, I cut and embossed. And for the smaller sentiment shape, I just cut that one. And it's got little pierced holes around the edge. And I cut the paper out of Blue Lagoon from Gina K. And the ink is also Blue Lagoon. And I'm going to use a little centerpiece in another project. This is an older die, and it's lattice rectangles. I cut the card base out of the Blue Lagoon, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, scored at 5 1/2. I mean, it's 4 1/4 by 11, scored at 5 1/2. And I put a little center panel in it that I decorated at the edges. And the base there is 4 by 5 1/4 embossed. Now I punched out all the little things on the edge, and I still couldn't get this one released. So rather than just do it off camera, I decided to show you how I release it without tearing any of that decorative edge. And I just slide a thin spatula under the edges. I go under all 4 until I get it released. And then all I have to do is get rid of the few little pieces that stuck in. Some fell out. There's a couple that actually didn't cut all the way through at the edge. So I use my pokey tool. Actually, it's a Spellbinders tool in one. And I just put the little piece against my nail for support and then tug at it to release the little edges. And then this will be glued on top of the base. And for this particular die, I really didn't need to emboss it because it doesn't show up. But if it was a more open die, it would look neat. And then I will pop dot up the large layer, and I will pop dot up the sentiment layer. I think I'll put on a flower. This is just a flower for my stash. I will come back and assemble this at the end. This is another die by Stacy Karen. It's a Milan Medallion dies, and it's 5.8 inches. It's pretty cool. Now this card base is 6 by 12, scored at 6, and I couldn't find my Christmas papers real easily, so I just used some Christmas wrapping paper that was easier to find, and I just glued it on. Now this one I'm not going to finish. I don't have time, but I just threw that flower on there for you to show what it would look like with a flower. So if you can imagine a poinsettia on there. This little piece is actually by Seth Apter, and it's called Citrus, and it's got lines like citrus, but it works really, this one would work and be well suited for a multimedia project. This one is pretty cool. It is Venetian gatefold dies, and the die is made to fit a standard A2 card. And so the base I have scored at 2 1/8 and 2 1/8 so that they close in the center. And then I line it up to the outside edges to the center. And it fits perfect from the top to the bottom. And then adhered them on. I like gatefold cards to have a band to keep them closed. And I'm not very good at tying, so what I'm showing you is I'm going to use that little centerpiece from the other die for the Labels 56 and put an embellishment in the center, and then so I don't have to tie the string, I'll wrap it around. But I'll show that to you at the end as well. I'll punch a hole through the center. I used my Heartfelt Creations shaping mat, and I poked a hole through the center of the little blue shape, and it was stuck in that brad These are the brads that I use. They're really big rhinestones. And from spare parts, I believe I got it at Hobby Lobby quite a while ago. And I stuck it in, and to separate it, I just used the pointy tip and put it between, and then it helped pry it open, and I just pressed it down. And I'm going to put a lot of glue on the center and on the edges of this, and I'm going to glue them together so that you don't see the brad on the back side. So we're placing it right in the center and then bringing the string around to wrap around the rhinestone to keep it closed. Here's the other card that I did. I've got everything all popped out it, and I embellished with some rhinestones. And I used an Ariana lace flower for the background behind the flower just to jazz it up a little bit. And then I stamped the inside. This one's all glued down now. And all I need to do is add a flower. I'll probably be using this poinsettia. And here they are, completed. I hope you enjoyed getting a look at some of the new Spellbinders dies this week. The products and the written instructions are at the Cut at Home blog. The featured products today are from Spellbinders Designer Series Renaissance Jubilee by Karen Designs. Be sure to subscribe to Cut at Home and also to Paper Finesse. Have a great day.